It's Wednesday, March 13th, and this is a recap of today's daily SPY activity. You can see here on the daily chart, we end up with an inside bar that has a little bit of a pause hammer look to it as it continues higher. In other words, we had kind of a two down green bar here to start the week. We had a two up week with a target up here, a two up day, to a target up here. We expected that to continue today. But it didn't get there. It just kind of paused. So it looks like it's just a pause to eventually get to that target. This is where we're broadening out. Should we get a two down day tomorrow, then one of two things. Either this whole move up fails and we look for this target to be taken out, or it's kind of an inside bar that would fail to reach that target and, down here and then come back up through the range. So any downward move tomorrow, should it develop, it is a failure of this move up, but also know this is an inside bar which could fail as well on the way down. And if we start down and can't get to this target and we come up through the midway point of that bar, then we're heading up to those highs. In the same sense, if we start up tomorrow, we should be broadening out. We're expecting this two up that happened here on Tuesday to kind of pause and then continue higher towards its target, and then we see what happens from there. As always, it's possible you start up to the inside bar, you just take out a little area here, never reach that target, come back through the halfway point of that bar. That could be a big failure sign as well. So those are the kind of things we're looking for when you have the inside bar. To me, at the moment, it looks like the type of thing where we're heading up to those highs and we just paused along the way. If you look at today's activity, it really wasn't any great type of trading day on the indexes based on the methodology I like to use. First bar came down red below the pre-market lows, and then you follow through lower, but we're still above the halfway point of the prior day, expecting that high to be taken out. So you're not really thinking to the downside at all, and you're looking for that red to green move. So this was kind of even though it wasn't a strong green, this bar, I guess you can call it maybe a red to green move. Try to buy in here somewhere. You would have had a whole hour and a half to just realize it's not going anywhere. Maybe you take a small loss along the way. You're still expecting that high to be taken out from yesterday, so you're still looking for any kind of a long signal. I guess if you look here, it was kind of a red bar with a big tail, then this inside green bar that didn't really close strong, then we go red again, then we go down here, and then you finally get the strong green close. So maybe you could have bought this as a secondary trade, and eventually it gets up to take out the high of the day, which would be the target. Even this move here was the target, and that's why you could see it wasn't getting there early. So maybe a small loss here. This trade got you up here, but then obviously after pausing for an hour, it decides to collapse, but then it has a big, buying at the end to give you that kind of buying tail. So, it's pretty good kind of a support type of thing in here that you really have to break below that low to get things to the downside, and a failure moving up. And in the meantime, given that close that kind of rallied up and gave you this buying tail, it sort of seems like a pause bar as we work towards those highs. But we'll be expecting that tomorrow, but we'll have to see how price opens as always. But again, today it really, it's above the midpoint of the prior day the whole day, so you're not really looking to go short. And these little green moves in here eventually took out the first bar high, but couldn't even get to the overnight high, and we end up with an inside bar. This was just what it really did was it took out liquidity to the upside here, then it comes all the way down, takes out liquidity to the downside, and then it pops up and closes right in the middle. So it was just sort of one of those choppy days without much opportunity, and nevertheless, you were still buying to the upside the whole way. And there were a couple of green moves in here that if you stuck with it, eventually got you to the first bar high and never really reached its target, but you wouldn't have gotten hurt too bad. So anyway, we'll see, what unfolds tomorrow.